This one much easier. Okay, so today I'm talking about some network security issues in the wireless mesh network, which is my project. And I want to focus on the network security part as I'm writing the transfer thesis, because I know this is very important in any network. If a network is not secure, nobody's going to use it. And especially for the wireless networks and in the wireless mesh. And so today I will go through some network, here we'll go through some issues in the wireless networks, not necessarily in the mesh, but also I will talk about the vulnerability, especially for the mesh, because it's my research. And afterwards, I'll talk about some usual attacks that happens in the wireless networks that you may encounter in the days, and some counter-attack methods that have been adapted over the years, over all the standards, protocols, all the things. And finally, I will give some tips of using wireless network. It's not necessarily to be the mesh, but can be the Wi-Fi, the internet, anything of a wireless network. So that's all the things I'm going to talk today. So that's first part is there are generally three kinds of different wireless network attacks. Firstly is network attack. It attacks directly to the network. It makes the network unusable or destroy the infrastructure. So it doesn't matter how they take your information or not, but it just aims to take the network down and make it unusable. And the second one, the information attack. It's different. It doesn't attack your network directly, but you will try to steal your information, forge your information, make your information more malicious attacks to different people. And this is very, very dangerous because now we rely on the internet so much that every our information ends on the internet. With our credit cards, our browsing history, chatting history, everything. So if your information is compromised and you lose literally everything. Third one, I'm not going to talk about in details, but social networking attacks, including phishing, like forging the web page. You're using a secure network, but phishing, this kind of things, is attack on the people itself rather than attack on the network. So I'm not going to talk about today, but it's good to know that this is also very dangerous, since people are the most vulnerable in the system, in any kind of system. People are the easiest part to be compromised. So, okay, so there's some security issues of network and wireless networks. Firstly, of course, it's a shared radio interface. So everyone using the air or the space, that goes all the radio waves, and all these are shared, so everyone can listen to actually what you're talking about if it's not encrypted. And secondly, it's widely and publicly used. Everyone uses public Wi-Fi, use cell phones, use different things, or wirelessly, so you can't avoid it if you use it. Third is internet. Everyone uses internet. As I mentioned before, everything of yours, important or not, are on the internet. And so those the dangerous people want to attack via the internet to get your information and compromise your personal stuff. Number four, it's because it's so widely and publicly used and everything is public, is shared interface, that makes a brute force attack possible. So they can try your password many times by computer to get your password, to try it possible, rather than just to ask you the password. It is dangerous to get the password, even if you have the best encryption in the world, since your key is compromised. So the last one is the ease of access, and it's on most of the wireless system that we use on the ISM band. So everyone can use it, everyone can reach it. There's no law problem to do the things. So it's very dangerous. This is some security issues in the wireless network, so we have to look into it. But before we go into the wireless mesh network, we'll talk about a little bit of topology difference. This is the traditional WLAN network. You can see here, this is the core network. This goes to the upper link, and these are the APs, are the access points, and the radio interface are here to connect to the different clients using a radio interface. And this picture shows the wireless mesh network. It's quite different because what radio is extensively used in all parts of this network. Every single client or router, despite the difference of them, they connect to each other. And all these wireless interfaces are exposed to the attackers because they can go in either here or here, and they can put something here to extract your information or to take the whole network down. So this network is certainly more vulnerable than the interface-based WLAN network. So that's how it becomes more dangerous. Firstly, it's a multi-hoop wireless network, as you can see from this picture. If you, for example, this client, this computer wants to use the internet, you have to have multiple hoops. And each hoop have a radio interface or radio connection to the different routers, finally to the internet. So there are multiple chances that people can actually intervene your connection into different places. And second one is this is a multi-tier security. It's not only one tier that, like in the conventional network, here is a radio. And these are the different links that is not in this scope of discussion. So you care about this, the encryption here, you care about the message integrity here, that's fine. But here is not, because the whole network is a mesh, so everything is connected. And there are tier 1 links to the internet, which is the gateways. There are other tiers, are the bridges to the other network, maybe Bluetooth, maybe other things. So all these things have to be considered to design the security feature of a wireless mesh network. And thirdly is a multi-system security. So as you can see here, this one have only one system, which is the routers, and that's it. And when you go to the wireless mesh network, every single router can be a router, it can be a device which acts as a router. So all the things is multiple different systems, subsystems, and also different network interface, Wi-Fi, WiMAX, Bluetooth, everything. All this system combined together, work together to be a big mesh network. So the security issue will happen in each different ways. So when the designing this system, have to take extremely careful about how to overcome this multi-system security. So you can see, and the interoperation of these systems are very, very differently, and you have to look into it. So to make sure there's no vulnerability left over there. So let's talk about some usual attacks in the wireless networks. Firstly is the channel jamming, as you can see here. Somebody carry a bag or put it in the back of the boot of a car, it jams all the radio signal, and this is usually you can't do anything about it because it's illegal, by the way. So this is a network attack. Second one is traffic analysis. The people trying to extract what's actually going on in the radio interface to guess the information. This is a passive attack that you can't detect it because they just pretend to be one node of the network, and they analyze this in the whole interface and to know the pattern of the usage and then to get some useful information accordingly. And third one is the eavesdropping. Oh, this happens a lot, like this guy. Yeah. If your information is not encrypted, they can listen to everything. Your bank password, your credit card number, your national insurance number, everything, if it's not encrypted. So this is a very famous one anyway. And afterwards is the message forgery. Some clients or some malicious clients can forge the message to the upper tier of the network, as you see in this chart. Yeah, so you can forge, and tell them that I am a root. Actually, I'm not. But you send me the message, I get your message, and I just analyze it. So they can send all these dangerous messages, flood this network, and to trick that I am actually the internet, not other people. So they can take all the information, and then they may have another link to the internet. They get your information and do that. So this is another part of this attack called message forgery. Another one is message replay. This is a very interesting one, like this. So A said to B that let's meet at 5 p.m. today and have dinner. And B said, okay, we got it, let's issue this. So when you actually started a conversation in the network, you have the acknowledge and also the response. And somebody just copy this information and get the response and get your information extracted. So this is like a C, and they just replay the A's message and to get the C's. And this is very hard to detect because he doesn't know. Because this is exactly the same message, but it comes to his hand. And this will be talking the later part, the counterattack part as well. And the last one, but the man in the middle attack. Yeah. So this is very important in a wireless mesh network because everyone can be part of the network. So this guy just join the network, tell them I am a router, or say you connect me instead of connect to the server directly, and I can do everything here. If the message goes through this channel is compromised or is not encrypted, he can do anything. He can change your number. He can get your number, do all the things. For example, you buy an iPhone on Apple.com, he can change your order to 2, and he gets one. So yeah, so this is a man in the middle. So let's talk about how to counterattack these things. Firstly,
Jack, can I just ask a question? Can you go back?
Sure.
What's the difference between traffic analysis and eavesdropping?
A traffic analysis is blind, so I'm not decrypting your stuff. I analyze your pattern.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of learn about the infrastructure network in traffic analysis, but you don't listen to the data or.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if the data is encrypted or not, because I just learn your pattern, I know the topology, and I can attack accordingly afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. So counterattack firstly is designing and monitoring, and I'm currently doing these things because in my thesis to think about how to do network auditing in a distributed network like the wireless mesh, because it's not like the simple WLAN network. You have access points that you can do all this auditing. You have to do a distributed auditing and also to learn the patterns and to identify the dangerous parts. The second one is use a cognitive radio to avoid all those attacks on the interface. For example, like the traffic jamming. When there's the network jamming, if the radio is jammed, you can automatically hook to another channel to avoid it. And software-defined radio and cognitive radio is an ideal thing to implement all these features and to be used in a wireless mesh network because you can use different systems, which is quite clever. And secondly, you should use the up-to-date protocols and software to avoid the message forgery, because the newest protocols can identify this forgery information. Because when you found this is a flaw in this, there's a flaw or a bug in the protocol, somebody can forge a malicious message to tell the system. But once the protocol get updated, and this can be outdated the bug. So if you keep updated to the protocols and softwares, this can be minimized at least. The third one is low-end regulation to deal with the jammers. Only low-end regulation can deal with them. Ofcom doesn't allow it in this country, but in the wartime, this is very useful when people carry a big bag to jam all this radio conversation of the enemy. But in the real day-to-day life, we have to rely on the lawyers or the policemen. Okay, so for the information security, what I just talked about is the network security. Information security, firstly, is network encryption. There are two major ones in the Wi-Fi standards. An early one is called WEP. It is the wireless encryption protocol, which is using a very simple protocol using a shared key, which is static. So it's very, very dangerous because everyone can simply sitting there run a simple program can decrypt your network. You can guess your password in, say, a couple of hours, and everything you got, they can see it. So that the Wi-Fi Alliance introduced a WPA and WPA2, which is Wi-Fi protected access, later on to replace this one, and to have a more AES encrypted network, which is more robust, and it's not easy as this one because it's using a dynamic key rather than a static key. So yeah, but these are some protocols, and after that, we can use different protocol securities in different layers, like IPsec in the network layer. So the IP packets are encrypted, or using MAC tokens to identify different MACs or different devices connected to the network. And as I mentioned here in the auditing, you can know what happens. The network administrator can know what is happening and to find out what is dangerous for network and deal with it. And finally, using SSL and HTTPS to see the website, all the websites are encrypted. So your link are encrypted to make multiple layer encryption to make sure that your data is safe. So in the WMN, it's a wireless mesh network security. It's a little bit more than that. Firstly, we usually use a single layer method, as I mentioned before. So, and in IEEE, they have a 802.11s, which is an old standard, now merged into every single standard as a mesh standard called Mesh Security Association. They have a mesh security capability information element, which is like this, into every single packet in the mesh network, to add this mesh key distributor, which is a key distribution domain ID, and also the configuration of the authenticator. But this is it's integrated to every single new Wi-Fi standard since 2005. So all this can be used right away. But for designing a new network and to utilize the WMN power, we better using multi-layer designs. We can use the physical layer security designs. For example, as I mentioned, the cognitive radio to evade those jamming, and to use a link layer like the SSL I mentioned before to encrypt all the connections between the local clients and the internet service. So it's a multi-layered, cross-layer design, which is a big research topic here. And finally, using some security protocols, especially in integrity routing. So you have to make sure that every single packet is going to the internet, to the right part. So you have to check the integrity of these routing packets to make sure it's a legit way to go to the internet, not somebody else. Okay, so finally, the last part, I can talk some tips for you guys if you are using Wi-Fi a lot. Firstly, whenever you get a Wi-Fi router in your home or wherever you can access it, set a password using WPA2, which is a new one, to make sure that no one can steal it. Because if they can use your Wi-Fi router, they can actually log into it, change the password, change the settings, and steal all your information right from your home, which is quite dangerous. So when you have a router, never leave it blank for password. Number two is when you use public Wi-Fi access points, be careful, because some people using, I heard that people using a phone actually setting up as a hotspot have a very dangerous name called BT Wi-Fi. You never know. And you connect to it, you suppose you connect to the real BT Wi-Fi, but maybe somebody else's. And then they use a man-in-the-middle attack, they get your information. So when you use this one, where possible, use VPN. At least all your information is in the terminal and it's encrypted. So this is be careful with this all this public Wi-Fi, especially on the street. The last one, but not least, you should use HTTP links wherever possible. So when you use wherever and whenever possible, like Google now using all HTTPS in all their sites, Facebook using it as well, but there are still some sites, especially for you want to do some transactions. Be careful using the HTTP site rather than using the HTTPS site rather than HTTP site, in case there's somebody like eavesdropping you. So thank you. That's what I talked about today, and it's more about network. So it's not really about radar. Thank you very much. And any questions?